Do you want to be on the list? You should take the list and put your name on the list. How are y'all? How's your day? I am not ready, Aston. No, hold on. I'm making small talk. Y'all's day's going good. So Friday, it snowed, and then, no, Aston, I'm not ready. I'm trying to make talk. I have 15 seconds. Okay. Well, there's there's a speaker. I'm gonna turn that mic off. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, Locks. I see you. Cute. Feel free, come on in. Are you gonna be performing with us tonight? Are you a poet? Okay, okay. And that's okay. If you feel called, there is a sign up sheet. Okay, I have a countdown. Alrighty, we have gotten started with our open mic. My name is Brianna. Hello. Hi, I am the co executive director of Sigur Voices. I'm usually not your host, but on special occasions like this day, I do get to be your host. A little bit about Sigur Voices. We are a local nonprofit here based in Denver. We promote unity and healing among BIPOC youth through creative expression, poetry writing, and open mics such like these. If you want to follow us, you can follow us on, I'm going to use this because I haven't seen it in a while, Sacred Voices Denver on Instagram, Sacred Voices Denver, all one word, on Instagram, and on Facebook. If you have Facebook, if you're living in that era like I am, we have that. And we are also on the Tickety Talks, the Talks of the Ticks, as my kids like to call it, which is sacred underscore voices. Find us on TikTok. I may or may not be on there just to look at cat videos. So fun times. And great. A little bit of some housekeeping for my in-person peoples. We have about 5 to 10 minutes for your pieces. If you go over, I will be in the back and say hooty hoo. And if you hear that, you're coming up on time. Okay, love it. You are free to take the mic off if you are one of those poets. If you're a cool poet, you can take the mic off of this stand. You can walk around with it. Make sure you stay within the realms of the cameras that they can find you. If not, they will find you. They'll move. They'll follow you. We are being recorded. If you do not want to be recorded, please come and let me know after the show. And if you want a copy of your video, you can go to our website, www.sacred dash no the floating stick, not the understick, the floating stick voices.org. There is a form that you can fill out to get your videos. They are edited by our amazing co-executive director Aston. You may not see him, but he's great. He does all the editings, and we cannot do this show without him. What else is going on in the realm of Sacred Voices? We have open mics every first and second Friday of the month. Our first Friday open mics are more of like a workshop type of feel. If you have some new stuff you want to bring out, if you're still working on some new stuff, feel free to come to our first Friday open mics. They are at Lighthouse Writers Workshop, which is on 38th in York. So feel free to do that. And then again, here we are at our second Friday open mic at Denver Community Media. It's a really great space. There's lights, there's cameras, there's action, the whole shebang. With that being said, I'm going to do a poem, and I am going to call up my lovely friend Charlie because I do not know who is on the list, and I only know Charlie's name. So I'm going to do a poem, and it's going to be great. And I'm very caffeinated. Very caffeinated. I do not drink a lot of coffee because this is what happens to me. So it's great. It's awesome. I'm going to do this poem because I work with youth, and it's great, and it's awesome. You magical being who turns destruction into salvation, which heart will you save today? Hopefully your own. Splatter your message across a composition book and you're a storyteller. Allow the shells to come from your throat and you command the room. They say the deadliest material is steel, but I'm convinced it's recycled wood and rubber erasers. They say the deadliest place on the battlefield. They haven't been in a classroom, haven't been in a sit-in, haven't been in your phone notes because, they don't know that you are Merlot and Malcolm, Maya and Madness, too magical to remind people why gunpowder is coated in graphite. So I hope you pull your piece when your peace is threatened. Stick the barrel of your pencil and pray your goodness and Garvey will help your aim and proceed with caution. There's Sam. Thanks. Thanks so much. Thanks. Wow. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. If you feel that like somebody really performed well or, struggling, do some snaps. We encourage people. If you're a new poet, I encourage you to take up the space. If you're a dope poet, I encourage you to take up the space even more. I have one more, and then Charlie, you feel ready to go? Awesome. I gotta hang tight. Cool. I'm gonna do this without the call and response because it's gonna be great. I wrote this because doors, porches, and black folks have a very funny and powerful relationship. So, my folks got a funny relationship with doors, opening and closing, portal limbs lost. My ancestors left the doors of no return, stripped of their tongues, forced open ones for the whiteys. Babies were taken, mothers were taken, ain't nobody in this house no more. Floorboards got nobody to creak under, altars go thirsty, are the doors of the church still open? A whistle from a hot southern door might get you disfigured. A budding mind wanting to learn is forced to find the back door, a door with a sign to let you know you only are allowed to exist as nothing more. I cleanse my door with High John the Conqueror, wipe the brass with tea. It's my only protection I got from a badge, a social worker, the bearer of a gun aimed to take yet another life, turn black body to skeleton key. My folks, they got a funny relationship with doors, opening and closing. Thanks. So, again, for the people who just joined, I don't know why this microphone is like short. I don't know how to increase the height of it. Maybe. Hold please. Ha ha ha. Wizard, magician. I got it. Again, hello. We are Sacred Voices. Charlie, I'm gonna call you up really quickly. If you are performing, you got 5 to 10 minutes. You will hear me in the back after like 11 minutes go hooty hoo, and that is your opportunity to wrap it up and move on to the next one. So, Charlie, you ready? Awesome. Please welcome up my lovely friend Charlie.
How we doing tonight? Oh, come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. A little bit louder. Come on. I wanna feel these lights like shake when y'all say woo. Ready? There we go. There we go. A little eerie, but hey, I roll with it. I roll with it. Okay. Okay. It's very spooktacular. But yeah, so my name is Charlie El Colibri MC. I do this kind of like as a part-time thing because I like to spit stuff on the weekends. And yeah, so March is my favorite month of the year because it's my birth month. So I got to do it up for myself. I'm going to be a little bit selfish. So I got 3 pieces for y'all today. So I want to break this first. I've never performed this piece live ever, besides one other time, but that was in my own studio. So y'all gonna get an unreleased, that's gonna be released, that is released, piece that I did way back when. And because it's also International Women's Month, it should be every single day, in my opinion. But yeah, this one's dedicated to my jefecita, aka my own mother. Rosa. Spring budding flowers, leaving a fresh scent of life, melting the worries. Como la flor de San Valentín, red with fire and surrounded by thorns, being brought from la tierra in a small village in Mexico. I can't fathom for myself the life you have lived, the memories you have, or the laughs you made. Sabiendo que la vida de ratón de rancho no te gustaba, you would rather travel to the city and make a new legacy for not only yourself, but tu familia. Hearing the stories of how my grandmama and how she gave you that fire to do what you wanted to do tunes down the cacophony of voices, allowing the beat of the drum bring los ancestros near me. From working the farm to hitting them books, being la Rosita del Pueblo, learning to become a modern day curandera, blending Western tools and native knowledge, having lived as all three. You were pobre once, you were rica también, and now as a middle-class worker, you've been the pitchfork stabbing me to not give up, to not falter in my own journey, not to judge, but from the stories I've heard, you were quite a traviesa my age, sneaking out, going to discotecas, and letting the music to this day flow through you as if time has no say. Breathing in toxic chemicals, placing your life at risk just so I could have nice clothes and the newest game disc. Coming to a nation self-proclaimed as a place where la vida es mejor in America, not knowing the language and not even having familia. You are una guerrera from the moment you decided to walk off the little ranchito for the rest of your life. Having Lady Luck on your side to be able to work and meet famous rich folk as you supervised and all the maintenance stuff in the cabins up in Vail, from Seagull to Miami to all the others you think I don't remember, but every chemical burn on your brown, beautiful hands have marked my soul in ways of holding your head up high with dignity and poise from all the murderers, bigotry, and noise from la sociedad. Tiendo tus cruces. Te agradezco los sacrificios de tu ser por darle para adelante con el nopal en la frente, siendo igual como la bella morena que proteja nuestra casa. I will never forget those long nights of learning to read Spanish through comic books as you cleaned late night shifts where I would be at school the next day, weary-eyed and cansado. After 20 plus years of you being there for me, excuse me while I wipe these lágrimas. Nothing amounts to finally getting your spot in society, to be able to drop the mop and bucket, to use your shop as a leather whip, mind and monopolizing and showing Uncle Sammy what it means to truly have a business pump fresh cash, going through uncharted waters, being there for my dreams. It's my time to be there for yours. Yeah, that one almost got me a little bit, not gonna lie, y'all. But yeah. Let me see. Okay. I'm gonna spit this one. This one's fairly new. New as in hella new. But I've performed it a couple times. This one, I'm dedicating a lot of stuff to like people that I know in my life personally. I'm like charitable, I guess. But yeah, this one goes out to a close homie of mine that I recently met, who I am forever indebted to, because he was he's one of the few individuals right now in my life who really opened his home, opened his his heart to just being there for someone who's like from literally a no nothing background like myself. But yeah. I'm white America's worst case scenario, a dark hole singularity that bends reality with every volcanic pulse that I breathe life into. This dull Mickey Mouse cartoon where black and white shapes fail to paint my brown existence in brown colors that bleed red ain't meant to permeate through the paper sheet backdrops given to us by slave quartermasters. Our brown bodies are only meant to drop, filled with lead casings for a society that keeps the same energy from the 1400s, the same energy that brought white diseases to corrode us, the same energy that tattoos red dots across our chests when we speak out of turn, the same energy where our brown heads are only seen worthy when we bend to your holy white sovereignty. What a damn shameful travesty. They took the Americas out of the native, but they never could take the native out of the Americas. I spit my magma-enriched words from my jagged obsidian teeth, burning away every lie I touched with a simple shh. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna close it out with this piece. This one, this one has a story. Real quick. Back in 2020, I don't know what possessed me, but I decided to go to a random open mic show in the middle of nowhere, aka Colorado Springs. Not knowing anyone down south, I was like, you know what? Let me get in my car. I'm gonna go. So I went, and this is the piece that I actually wrote during that open mic. And while they were doing that open mic show, they were actually having a competition. So I did this piece. Coincidentally, I won that little competition. Woo! But yeah. So here it goes. The Roaring Twenties, an age of decadence and gilded golden smiles, where rich white folks splurged heavily, having party after coke-filled party, trying to make their insides look like their outsides, while black artists were chefing it up in the arts and society, bringing out the new foundations when it came to an American identity. But through the pages of that history, where's the mention of La Frontera, living in the middle of a skin tone slider, not lucky enough to be an integral part of either end, where my hair acts black, but my words are white coveted. My internalized bodily dysmorphia, where as you look down your census checklist, my limbs are labeled incorrectly and differently based how I look, how a Mexican is supposed to sound, how parties and social awakenings get mentioned in my social studies classes, but my story still is considered an elective in comparison, where brown hands and brown hearts were boldly sacrificed to feed the war machines of World War II through the Bracero program, to only have the same white owners throw our broken bodies out into the streets to meet hate and venom because our tongues somehow still owed them. Playing make-believe is what the US had us think, but claiming that we was white, everything would be all right, hushing the possibility of another Renaissance awakening, resurging down south like in the streets of Harlem. Needing to resort to rioting in zoot suits and organizing with other civil rights movements further down in history. Everyone knows Brown versus the Board of Education, but please tell me who knows about Mendez versus Westminster? Yeah, the case that helped influence Browns so that all schools could not be segregated based on some messed up Amazon facial recognition software. Riddle me why, in fact, whiteness is what dictates how much knowledge I have about my own damn past, where it's whether you strut around like an entitled Chad or you sit in solidarity waiting for the next chapter in recorded misery to get at least another footnote mention that pops up when you Google, what is the struggle?
The host today, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really be trying. I really try. I don't like being a host, but I know. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna perform one because I'm so caffeinated. Chelsea, you want to come up? Yay! Chelsea is dealing with a creative block right now, so shout out to the creative blocks. They might push us. They might stop us. They might make us take a nap. Chelsea.
Hello, everyone. Got a few pieces to share with you today. Sounds good. This was something I wrote a few months ago, and a lot of things have changed. So I just recently had to change a lot of things, and I think that I'm ready to read it again. Sometimes it's hard when you really put your soul into something, and it hurts. It doesn't have a title. I've been writing, my body bleeding in these notebooks, and you don't bother finding me a tourniquet. I couldn't communicate how badly or why I needed it. I thought we were real for a minute. I was manic and I panicked. I thought I could chill for a minute. I was manic. I panicked. Down on my luck, scattered to dust in my soul, and then you spit on it, forming clay from dirt to build something, honey. We was manic. I went too far, I think, again. I always take it too far. But I finally know the answers. For real. I finally know the answers. But I was always endlessly striving. I was seeking, reaching for something imaginary. Despite it all, I didn't fall. You never return calls. She has your gifts, and I feel the rift. And we have the loving family I created despite my own best efforts to destroy myself. I wanted my best friend, someone who knew my roots. I climb every ladder, and you just want the chutes. But that's not possible. All of eternity, it never will be. To the better end, you're still my kin, and that's my destiny. I'm alive again, taking this meat suit for a spin, and I didn't even have to die for real this time. I am, however, forever fictitious, better in my imagination, a fantastical creation of explicit illumination. I am better there than in real life. I'm living in the flow now, and living is slow now, so I've got to go now. I'm a magnesium strip already burnt from both ends. I'm a burnout. I wish you the best. I don't say that in jest, but you've always said there's no goodbyes, and I still have yet to find a reason why. You know, I feel that every dead branch should burn in its own day, in its own way, but slowly this fire is dwindling without more kindling. And I am that kindling. I'm breaking off my dead pieces to feed the need of this flame. Now I'm ready to glow up in life, to burn out, to turn out. I've took out the trash, doubt, and clout, and I've been living in these hollowed out memories for years like a cocoon. Finally, you've given me the answer, the truth that I never knew, that at the root, the cause was not you. Before that, it was me who burned entire cities to the ground with my wanton desire and careless deviations. You were only trying to burn me back. I fell backwards again this time, but I caught myself on these spider webs. They're sticky. From here, I can see this clearly. I am the keeper of my destiny. We were writing the book on emotional maturity through poetry, the healing. We're doing it. We're living it. Performing it. Through all of this now, I see the masterpiece, a lie I told myself for centuries, perpetually, that it was always you and never me. This curse is blessed, you'll see. This knowledge gives me the perspective to make my directives at least effective. Poetry flows through me. You ask me, why do you even share this crap with me? I used to say, a plague upon your whole house for never knowing that I'm a whole human being birthing art through myself. Sending it to you with these songs I shared so desperately, a desperate plea communicating something without words. This feeling of missing a piece, but to you it was just the feeling of stealing a bite to eat. But then I remember that I'm part of that household. So I rebuke my own words and judgment in which I have effectively made a bigger mess of myself for myself as I navigate this inner landscape poorly, while the world shifts and Western imperialism falls before our eyes. Be here now. You would say, envision exactly what I want my life to look like, but not in this conceptualization. It's a simulation of reservation. Not in this conceptualization. It's a simulation of reservation, of what could have never, ever, ever been, and I don't know how to move forward these days. And my plate is full, and you're always invited. Prove me wrong. Come through, show up, fool. For real, dude. But if I keep acting like this, explosive, accusatory like this, a fire of gasoline on top of water forever, no one would ever respond, because why would you? No one wants to be in that position. No one wants to touch and be burned by such poison. I'm always getting hurt. I'm hurting myself, hurting the ones I love with this unhealed portion of my soul. And I'm growing now, and these pains are new. And I finally know all the things I've said about you, well, about me, they're pretty much also true. I accuse you of being a fraud who bleeds to feel on top, but you almost died like 3 times, and that scarred my soul. You won't give me real because you can't, and I don't think I can either. So I guess it's fine enough. We can form a scab over this, and I promise to stop picking. I promise I'll take care of the scars. The same pain I feel when I think about my mother I have when I remember you, and it never makes sense to me. I worry about you every single day, and my life at home isn't what you would say is stable, able to keep me afloat, because mentally I can't keep straight what I wrote. But for you, it's a poke to take it all away, a smoke to take it all away. You gave it all away. I'll never stay. You'll never stray, and we can't get past it to this day. But I can forgive, and I can never forget. I'm just another soul floundering around as a fool. I'll rebuild, renew, regroup too. All I can do is paint and write poetry, insert myself into stretched canvas, digital screens, and pressed cotton paper so desperately to try and forget. At my lowest moment, you found me squeezed between diamonds of uncertainty, within a grim and distorted reality. You wanted to use me for my body. I was wrong, because I thought it was you all along, and my new friend taught me that we go where we feel we deserve to be. And you finally told me that it was me. 3 times 3 times 3, and I remember. Thank you. From this, I'm finally free. I can see I'm right where I'm meant to be, even if it's not collaboratively what I envisioned it would be. And I have to take more responsibility, because it wasn't just you who hurt, and so you hurt other people. That was also me too. All my therapists wear Doc Martens too, and I don't know what happened. I grew. All these things keep reminding me of you. I've been writing, painting, and growing. I just want to start over new. Thank you.
One more time for Chelsea, please. This got shorter. Ooh. Great. I have 2 announcements, a poem, and then I'm going to call up Brisa. Feel ready? Yeah, cool. Announcement number 1. I forgot it. No, we're having a film screening. The end of March, March 30th. Yes. I had to confirm that with my brain. We will be watching The Edge of Each Other's Battles, a vision on Audre Lorde. If you do not know who Audre Lorde is, now is a great time to get to know her. She's super cool. And then, oh God, I forgot it. What was it? First Friday. Thank you so much, Aston, from the box. First Friday. So we have our First Friday open mics, which is more like a workshop type of feel. If you have some new things, working on some things, and you want to workshop, get some ideas, some feedback on your poems, please come and join us First Friday. It is at Lighthouse Writers Workshop on 38th in York, and it happens every first Friday. With that, I have a poem, and then Brisa, I will bring you up. I really love your top. I'm excited for other people to see it. It's so pretty. Cool. I will read this one, and it's about love poems, because I don't really write love poems anymore. I don't write love poems anymore because I don't want the world to know. I've become more and more head over heels in love with you. I wake up in love. I fall asleep in love. When you take the trash out, I'm in love. When you order us tie, I'm in love. When you fold the clothes because you know I hate it, I'm in love. And I'm not going to let the world ruin that. I seek jealousy and crave mess. They circle around social media like sharks, and I'm 2 seconds away from grabbing a harpoon. I don't write love poems anymore because I leave rivers of stanzas on your back when the sun finds where we hide before you meet me conscious. I take pride in knowing your body walks over planks of I love you and I need you. I don't write love poems anymore. My therapist and I have agreed that I'm an angry dragon that's obsessed with gold, and you are my gold. I want you all to myself. I want you to see the person who I am without the Instagram captions. I don't write love poems anymore, which is a lie. I write them every day. About you, about us, about the way you make me feel every day. I-L-O-V-E, you. Awesome. I'm going to bring up Brisa, and Brisa is a Pisces. Ooh. Shout out to the Pisces.
Hello. That was the fun fact because I couldn't think of anything else. And it is Pisces birthday month, so go us. Okay. this first poem I'm going to share is untitled, but it might be named A Mirror Dream. Yes, please. Okay, that's way better. Thank you.
Technical support. Okay.
All right, thank you. All right. I do not like saying your name, not because I have not let you go, but maybe because it is all I have left of you. In my dreams, I can hold only all of what I want you to be, not all of what you may have become, in case it is and you are better than all I could have ever inspired you to be. To be me is to be wondering why I impose my self-value, projected worth on a result of a tangible expression of someone's love for me. If you are not willing to give it all for me, then I must have not been all that you have been waiting for. I must not be your dreamy, laced-in delusion, love of your life perfect. Maybe if I could be perfect, I would not resolve to living only in dreams, snapshot currents of parallel dimensions, a universe within my universe of, in another life I loved you fully, maturely. In another life we grew together. In this life, 2.5 lovers later, I still dream of you, but in a casual way, as in I don't bring you up to my therapist, as in I quickly gather the remnants of my quickly fading dreamscape to snoozedly self-analyze the symbolism. Why are you here in this dream now? And why did I not feel your presence this time? Your avatar has become a character, no longer a soul tie. My soul has tied potential with an everlasting question mark of what we could have been. It remembers all the other lives in which we were, and if my words are spells, may my expression of this yearning to become undone from you result in a freeing goodbye. May I unbecome all that I thought I was supposed to be in an exploration of what I am without my own expectations, without an imaginary past influencing my future, without an imaginary audience, a performer's mind, an unsettling hyper-awareness of my own humanity in play in this material world. In my world, I am all and nothing, all at the same time. I exist in the ether. I float between the mirrors I only see myself in and recognize your eyes. In your eyes, I am witnessed. I was here, only in a snapshot. In my dreams, you are but a dissolving memory. Thank you. Okay, this next one is about words, since that is the reason we are all here. Words, like art, can leave an imprint on someone's heart, a recognizing. Words, like paint, one splattered stain. Are these markings inspiring love or hate? Which words are your ego's fear asking why? Words can hurt even when we try to repaint with I'm sorry's. In the conditioning of the words we use toward ourselves, can we see the imprint that we lay in will extend to the spots we are choosing to remain stuck in? You are never someplace you don't want to be in if you haven't wanted to move toward being free, to move toward knowing you, have never had to string words along for others as an act of stringing along others to paint a picture that you want them to remember you by. What is a remembering if not you wanting for yourself as you come back home to you? Words set you free when you paint in love's favorite color, honesty. If you were to paint an honest self-portrait, what colors of your truth would you feel, and would you allow it to be hung in your heart's gallery? Would it give you goosebumps to witness your soul's beauty beyond words' grace? If I am so wanting of others to see me, it is from a lack of me choosing to really see myself as a museum of love. Can you hear me? Am I only looked at? Will your heart paint my picture? Will my words form snapshots of stories, a collection of my soul's color, soul's colors, a passing along of, did you hear? Once upon a time, someone loved me. Do you know, even longer ago, source of love created me? Does it show? Will you tell anyone? Will they know I said something? I wrote love in the sky for me. Don't tell them I said nothing. To have a butterfly find me, I asked my heart's light to shine in love's language, energy. Our words can be the metamorphosis for our becoming, our choice to stay in the shell of our cocoons that is cracking by the light, waiting to burst, to fly free. Are you waiting for your wings to dry like paint? Will you use your words to expand or remain? Do you remember me? I made this for you, a drawing for you to hang in your mirror, a note that says, I am free. Thank you. Okay, I have one last one. When I dress up my inner child, love is the expression, the self-expression as passion for fashion, for show, for sharing. This is a part of my soul in art's form, a single form decorated with my essence. A hint of this specifically is how I choose love and what I love in me, and I allow me to be a reflection of an adoring self-portrait, an inner seedling planted in the depths of your inner child's healing, that if you shine so bright, I can too. If you see me, I love you. When I see me, I love you. We fly free, me and you. My love will always find me in you, and in me, my little me and me have been one, not two. May we all shine through the courage to create in being with only our own love reflected, and not reach for abandon in the hands of others when we are waiting to return back to us. When we remember the reconnecting and knowing, if I am here, I am worthy, I am love. The you I search for is me. Thank you.
Did y'all see the blouse? Isn't it pretty? Listen, I want it, but I don't. Awesome. Cole, you are our last one before our amazing feature. Please. Also, Cole, I really love your social media handle. Is it 000 Cole 000? Yeah. I love that. Please welcome Cole.
All right, I'm going to do a variety of short poems tonight for you guys. I'll start with this one called Asylum. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. You sing that a million times, then cut me out of the family line. I lost my faith at the pew when I was half of 22. I thought my grace was to save and not the hate I learned from you. They surprise baptized me at 16 because I still hadn't given in and was already living my life in sin. I've never been one to follow the crowd. I've never been one to say it aloud. I've never been the one. I've never been the wise one. I've never been the last one. And I am tired. I am tired and I am retired and relearning how to be whole, revealing each and every hole in their plot. Because rainbow or not, we are not yet free. Now somebody say hallelujah. I heard there are secret chords and holy notes, and Mary is pleased when you're on bended knees in the shrubbery. And if I really believe you are God, where is the rod you shared? Where is the time we shared? Where is the rod you spared? Where is the time we shared? And if it really was the smoke and the incense in the aisle, then I talked to smile. I walked this mile. Bright in my mind, light in my hand, doing what I can. And learning how to love again takes every ounce again. Yet somehow I begin. Thank I'll do this one for Charlie. I don't think you've heard this before. What is mi gente? I don't speak Spanish, but I got this, so forget what I know. Forget love, forget hate. Forget pain, forget escape. You forget mother tongues, you forget brother lungs, you forget sister rights, you forget father fights. And there are people out there with fists in the air that don't care. And there are people out there who want the fight, but forgot about our right to stand on this line and our right to take these streets with a rubber bullet in my eye and another one of your lies, to move my feet, to strike a beat, and to light my pyre, my fiery grave. Will be all that remains. Why do I have to watch my people die? How many times before I step in and say that was a lie? See, you missed this, but they tricked us. So we took back everything they ripped off. We hid it between snowflakes and basements when they tried to erase us. So we planted ourselves in these seats. And then we pressured our feet to keep moving beneath the heat. We thirst with a longing only my ancestors understand. Take my hand, see, you missed this, but they tricked us. So we took back everything they ripped off. Thank you. All right, I wrote this week. The title is unrelated, basically, but I think you'll get the point. Clarence Thomas is compromised. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to write anymore. I don't know what the fight is. It's just a nightmare, and the news is repeating. We're terrified and retreating because Trump keeps beating any semblance of society out of our country. I've been called a terrorist because I never rest, but that was the past. So bring in the comrades. I've gone mad and need peace or some release. And our forefathers were only in it for the dollars. And no matter how many hours you work, it's going to find some way to hurt. The former president is the original crooked criminal, but they sing him praises like a hymnal. They've taken residence in every city on this continent, in the weakest of heads and hearts again, disguised Klansmen wearing hats again, everyone that's voting for Trump again. Why is this happening? And what rights were really mine? What do I forfeit this time? I know I'm not the only voice of dissent, and mostly I'm just here to vent because half of us are still hidden, but we need everyone committed. So expect us to demand respect given to me under your contract. And take your token piece of treaty and finally treat me like an equal. This land was my land. This land was your land until you put your dirty hands on it. Okay. Do a couple more for you guys. Freedom is not made to last. It must be clawed back at every pass, and if you're not doing a part, it's time to start. Because there is heat waiting in these streets. And sometimes you define your entire life by one single night. American as cherry-picked pie, baked in a lie, but I'm out here naked wondering why. And it's not just about your vote. We have to do everything we can to provoke the system, take the wrongs right up to the bill of the MAGA hat of the right, because I can't even go downtown without him following me around. And even in a safe space, it takes another voice. If I say run, it's because he's got a gun, and it always ends up pointed at me. The barrel of a gun is a black hole when it's knocking at your door. The barrel of a gun is a black hole when it's knocking at your door. Progress is a process, and we're changing the nation. It's no mystery how history has erased me, maimed me, and changed me. Because I am the man and the woman of his dream, but I'm some kind of creation that can't stand the racism and discrimination. See, we would never break bread with the oppressor. Like a stainless steel wheel to the press, I will never rest, and this is what they mean when they say it's free. Because in this day and age, they leach the water from the stream and the ink from your page. So if you're lost, get behind me or get out of the way. I'm going to say it again and again. If you're lost, get behind me. It's time we break free. Thank you. I think I have time for one more, so I'm just going through it for y'all. Everything I got right now. I got a lot of pain. I got a lot of rage. I've seen children locked in a cage, and I still cry to this day because this is not the way. I've seen police setups on the press. They ride in black vans and never rest until they take out every protest. I've seen wars for oil that never end, slick as sin, handshakes and a grin to seal the unholy deal between friends. I've seen chain gangs in the heat while wardens start football games from their seat, and murder plays on repeat. I've seen razor wire tear into migrant skin while ice melts in an agent's cup before they come to fuck you up. I've seen babies born in the dirt, mothers labor next to your fruit where the only salt is her sweat. I've seen the racist relocations full of excuses as they burn everything we own. I've seen the vicious pigs with guns and that look in their eye as they take you with pride. But I still will not hide who I am. Where I go is where you start war, and this bloody mess is in your hands because we stood on street corners begging you to see children in a cage. Children in a cage puts me in a rage, but I really don't know what to do after listing all these atrocities, so I'm just gonna take my seat too.
Thank you so much, Cole. One more time for Cole, please. And one more time for all of the amazing performers who have gone. Cool. Before I call up the wonderful feature of our night, also my lovely friend, you can follow us on the social medias. Sacred Voices Denver, all one word, Instagram and Facebook. We are on the Tickety Talks, sacred _ I'm cheating. Voices. You can follow us on TikTok. Again, if you want your videos sent to you, please follow our website, www.sacred-voices.org. You can fill out a little form, and then about 2 to 3 weeks, give us some time. We're a small but mighty organization of 2. You will get your videos. They'll be edited. They look really good, and it'll be awesome. Another thing that I need to... Yes, we do have a new host starting next month, to be determined. You should come and see who it is. It's like the Pokemon reveal at the end of the episode where it's like, who's that Pokemon? But now it's who's that host? Because Bree's tired. So I am going to be professional and read the bio, even though I could spend several hours telling you about our wonderful feature. They are really good at dominoes, though. That's all I have to say. Really, really good at dominoes. But April Yvonne is a Denver born and raised poet and storyteller. From the time on Minor Disturbance, No Bedtime, and Slam Nubla, We Cut Heads, Yvonne has been writing and reciting poetry on a national level. National. Up here. All the way up here. You can't even see it. Up here. Since 2015. And now they use their pen to write new worlds and weave futures. Not only are they all of that and more, but they are my most cherished friend, and I love them so much. So please help me welcome April Yvonne to the mic.
Yep. You already know. Hi, folks. Hi. My name is April Yvonne. I'm your feature. My family's in the hallway. So, yeah. This first piece is called West Side. Meet me on the west side and hold my city in your palm. You can't trace where I'm from. This, a Westwood blessing. Morena in the dust, my cheeks stay redder than the plains. We planted the seeds and the grains. Tie me up on the west side. My city will tighten the rope. The sun here will trick you. Denver is a blurry desert. Will leave you dry and thin. The wind is littered with the bones of my kin. Meet me on the west side where my city closed its gates. It's time I find my escape. So here I stand, Morena in the dust, sunburnt and discarded, just a part of my city's lust. That's my first piece. Word. Yeah, super glad to be here to be your feature. My style of writing is very short poems that will like gut you. So try to pay attention because you might miss the whole thing. But yeah, so I'm just gonna keep going, and then you'll see in my writing I write a lot about my body, my lineage, and my ancestors. So at some point I want to welcome the ancestors in and maybe pull a card. So yeah, this next piece is called Boyhood. The men in my family only apologize after the water we carry in our guts swell too high, when the salt that kept us buoyant turns to kidney failure, autoimmune disease, a collapsed lung. After Granddaddy died, we washed up new men who can cry now, assigned new values to our fists, my grandmother's cooking, my grandmother's fasting, the meat off her bones, her memories, my proof. I keep a running list of my perpetrators' names. When I place it next to my mother's, you can't tell the difference. My mother is a single mother. My mother hasn't been single for more than 3 months since she was 15 years old. My mother sliced her calf open with a chainsaw while building. I was 15 years old, sunburnt tomboy in sawdust. I watched him watch her kiss her own blood, a kinky boyhood. My mother and I howl like empty house. Too much man to carve a home out of, and this man ain't new or dead or stolen. My boyhood is bounty, the kind you set out to see for, a queer to conquer, the youngest brother with the oldest stroke, washed up, a new man. All right, that piece was gay as fuck. So, yeah. This next poem is called Generation Z. My mom calls me socially aggressive, and I like it that way. I don't know where your hug is at. I don't want to be approachable, palatable, hired. I want you to have to look twice before you get to make a map out of me. It's only fair. I ask my own body permission to view it, and am often denied. It takes a ritual in the mirror before my face starts to look like my names. My bio are not listed in my pronouns. I'm not answering no matter what you call me. You can't take me nowhere, but I'ma show up anyway. All right. This next piece, thank you, is called Motherhood Pantoum. For creative blocks, I love the writing style of pantoums. It's 4-line stanzas. The second and fourth line become your first and second line, or no, your first and third line in the next stanza, and so on. So like you don't need to come up with that much, is the moral of the story. Okay, Motherhood Pantoum. I am mother, a source, a beginning. I never knew a bliss so painful. Flesh on bone, an intrusion, a welcoming, from human to sanctuary, a holy return. I never knew a bliss so painful. You love with an open mouth. From human to sanctuary, a holy return. Tiny hands reach for me. You love with an open mouth. There is a world I dream to give you. Tiny hands reach for me. I am your world. There is a world I wish to give you. A world I dreamt up between runny noses and scabbed knees. I am your world, a soft planet of milk and blood. A world I dreamt up between runny noses and scabbed knees. The child in me is reminded that new beginnings are possible. A soft planet of milk and blood, our first truth. All right. Oh, hi. Perfect timing. Hi, sweetness. Okay. I'm going to take my pause and welcome in the people and pull us a card. Yeah. So I practice in the hoodoo tradition. It's the Black American spiritual tradition. It is rooted, it's the remembrance of our lineage mixed with the botanical knowledge of the indigenous people. That's what hoodoo is. If you are Black American, it is your birthright. You're already doing it. You exist. You're doing hoodoo. So yeah, I'm gonna pull from Grandma's Baby's Gold Lenormand deck. Just one quick card. I'm gonna read out of the book, the guidebook. But first, I'm gonna welcome in my people and your people and our people with sounds. That's part of the hoodoo tradition, is using sound as a way to clear and to channel. Okay. So we have Spark. 7. Yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna read from the guidebook to just keep it going. Also, this guidebook is amazing, and this card wants to come with us. I think it's the pot. Okay. So I just asked what we needed to know, and it will tell us. Okay, 7 is the snake. From Snake Eater, this picture is from Snake Eater Sideshow in Donaldsville, Louisiana. It's taken out of the Library of Congress. It's discernment, Queen of Clubs, the element is fire. Before whiteness, we thrived on Earth by our indigenous traditions for thousands of years. Before, Snake was a creator and a transformer, until it was decided that Snake was a trickster. No matter, the medicine of the trickster is cunning. Like all things that can be killed, a trickster can't afford to take all the stories at their word. So they ask, who is telling the stories and what do they want? They make this practice to keep death at bay. Are we getting the real story? And if we are truly committed to life, to liberation, are we willing to shed certain stories? Our elders love to ask us, who free do you want to be? Okay. And on to the next card. It's in Roman numerals, and I know what that means. Totally know what that means. Hi, Ade. Yes, that's mommy. Okay, the Inquirer. This is an iron pot for heating water, stands out the yard of a Negro tobacco farmer. Person County, North Carolina, by Dorothy Lange. This was also retrieved from the Library of Congress. You, Ace of Spades, element air. The card is a prayer to remember our lives are shaped by a destiny that is larger than just ourselves, guided by forces greater than ourselves. And if we've gotten lost along the way, forgotten who we are, why we're here, we can always ask. Okay. What is our purposes? Is there a story we have to tell, a life to save? Whose? Do we have a community, lineage, or land to heal, a lesson to offer, a curse to break? Have you been called to service? Okay, that's just what the people wanted us to know. That's what we got. I'm gonna keep reading my poems. I have a few more. Well, more than a few. This next piece is called 9. It's a love poem. On the first night, I tucked your name underneath my tongue, licked our secrets off my lips. I knew a sweat this sweet was meant to be tasted, and more than once. I kissed a plea into your collarbone to take your time, and this you did. A cosmic return, a 4 and a 5, a rebirth. All right, this next piece is called Answered. My granddaddy used to tell me about boyhood on the beach. He skipped wishes as stones, held the heat of South Central between his shoulder blades. His eyes hung heavy with the pride of his mother. He never told me what he wished for, but he said I look like her, a prayer answered. Okay. This next piece is called Waist Beads. I've been praying more, to be more open, less wound. I can feel myself getting looser. I can feel myself being untied, and it's not scary. It's not scary because it's safe. Safe still feels like something I have to tether to my wrist. Sometimes I feel like string, and I can feel the beginning and end of me. I can feel how far I can stretch and count how many times I can fold in on myself. I like those days the best. Most moments I'm tangled. Like the string in the bottom of the drawer I promised I'd organize, the string I hide from myself. I don't know where I start. I want to say I'll stop hiding, but instead, I'll make a promise to unravel in all my mess and meet myself where I began. My grandmother told me that she started to leave herself alone, let herself dingle. I want to dingle with my grandmother, leave myself alone, and sway. This next piece is titled, I've Got Depression. Thinking about thinking, finding a pathway to my next thought, wishing it was a way out of my head. We'll call it intrusive, but it feels like a conviction. It says you are no good. It says you deserve it, and it passes, and I'm still breathing. We'll call it intrusive, but it feels like a genome, like a haunting, howling down DNA. It says free me, and sometimes I know how to. Thinking, when was the last time I moved? Was it the last time I clocked in? How stiff my spine must be. The secrets my nervous system holds. A scream would be enough. A smile would do, but I can't find it. Thinking, this time it makes a pit out of me. I convince myself it's safe here, or at least familiar, like a bed that will leave you with sores. The howling whispers, we know this hole. We've made it out before. Longing. My grandmother found a new home in my biggest toe, and the smallest one too. She says dance, and sometimes I know how to. She says sing, and sometimes I know how to. She says laugh, and sometimes I know how to, and I'm still breathing. All right. Thank you. This is going mighty fast, but that's because I write short poems. So that's what you get when you write short poems. Okay, this next piece is called 20s. My 20th birthday came with a brand new body, not the reclamation of an old one, and as a survivor of abuse, I'm having a hard time existing in this dichotomy. In my context, this is not a gift, just the second act that follows a disassociative montage. I never got to claim my old body. Somebody did that for me, called it skinned, called it ready, not living, not child. How can I expect myself to live in this new body and my name be familiar? My apologies taste like my mom's backyard shed, stale nicotine, lingering and unresolved, cancerous in their coercion. I'm still steeping at the bottom of my mother's mug. I know my taste is bitter on her tongue, and maybe this new body knows how to claw its way out, and maybe I need to spend more time listening to myself and less time apologizing. Last night, I held myself in reflection, found fresh sheets and agate stones, and finally made a bed for my healing. On my 26th birthday, I wrote a letter to my 23-year-old self. Somewhere between coastlines, I got lost. Somewhere between portals, I got lost. At 22, I was pregnant. 23, I gave birth, came back a newborn. Shook hands with death, kissed ancestors on the cheek. The water of our lineage broke in my childhood bedroom, and I did too. On my 24th birthday, an elder read my birth chart. What allowed the contract I drafted in the heavens, the power I wrote in my stars, put me behind the finish line. Now, 26, I take my mark. Ready, set, go. Thank you. Okay, this next poem is called Return to Krishna, Return to God. I wrote this poem after speaking. So in my neighborhood, there's like a place to vote. There you go. It's a rec center. And I was speaking to my auntie Krishna, and I guess this was just like my reflections of witnessing people vote and also speaking to an elder. I have always found mystery in my hands, in their ability to hold the little of myself, the little of this country, the little of a home I have left. Lately, I have been contorting them into prayer, whispering please into my knuckles to have more to hold on to. Taking a moment to bow, I start with thanks. Beholden to my mother's lust, I learned gratitude and obligation in the same psalm. thrusted into a country's static binaries, the holy and the damned, the root to all colonial algorithms, covet the world's sacred happenings, and outsider, born filled with already dead things, generationally haunted bloodlines. This is the cost of existing despite of. It's no mystery why the women in my family keep falling in love with the ghost of folk who were promised salvation in the taste of their own blood. Why we know better than to trust a white savior who promises to make what was blasphemous great again on this election day. Should sunshine turn to rain, I won't doubt or hide in fear. Hold faith on the tip of my tongue. Wait for the rapture. Wait in this omnipresent disquietude. The good old boy's ballot box bringeth upon us. I steady myself in prayer for tranquility. Sing out to the only God who looks like me, the only way I know how. Dear Auntie Krishna, do not take this utterance for poetry, but a choked out battle cry from your niece who only sees the sky bleeding in the east, then spilling out in the west. Why is this body already equipped for such a war? Is this the kind of better off my grandmother and my mother scrubbed floors for? Grandmother taught me how important voting was, showed me the collections of granddaddy's I voted pins. Each election day, she pours libation into the soil for each one of us whose blood was spilled in the name of salvation on this election day. I wonder whose soil my grandmother has been blessing. What if the colonial residue and present military tactics has died and seeped in this land, turned the organic matter toxic? Now every seed is only destined to bear strange fruit before it is planted. Dear Auntie Krishna, when did I become so myopic in my pessimisms? Aren't I too young to be this hopeless? But you must not forget, Auntie, this is a reluctant battle cry not to make great again, but return to a God or gods whose salvation does not come at a promise of bloodshed. Auntie Krishna, at the end of this war, I will return to you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's what I got. Those are my poems. Thank you. And yeah. Oh, also I do divinations. So hit me up for my Instagram if you want to book a divination with me. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Oh, everything came out of my bag, huh? All of it. Oh yeah. How do I educate people? Okay.
Consulting.
I have to think. Okay. Pathways to give me money. Yeah. Bring it in. Okay, that's enough. So yeah, like I said, you can my Instagram is asteroidkin. So like kin of asteroids, asteroidkin. Not a steroidkin. It was spelled like that for a very long time until I was like, that's not how you spell asteroid. Okay. Anyway, you can follow me, connect with me best through DM there. Like I said, I can book a divination. I also am a facilitating artist for a few different nonprofits, primarily Creative Strategies for Change, who's in the house. Yeah. But yeah, I work with different nonprofits and I go to schools and I teach really great art-based programming around liberation and social justice. And it's a good time. Yeah, but what I love to do mainly is write things down and do divinations. That's really the main thing, the main service that I love to offer. Also, like teaching middle schoolers is great too. Yeah, it is. Cool. I know that was a really short feature. I wasn't prepared for it to be that short. Like I said, I write really short poems. So that's how you get there. Thank you. You want a feature? You have something to say on the mic? Okay. Right?
Cool. Awesome. Yay. One more time for our wonderful, fantastic, amazing feature. It's not every day you get a feature and a reading. So, listen, if you tuned in person, you're welcome. If you tuned in virtually, you are welcome. But you should show up in person to feel all the good things. I'm going to close this out. It's going to be great. Ring us out. Absolutely. So again, our socials are Sacred Voices Denver, all one word, on Instagram and Facebook. If you find us on the Ticketies of Talks or the Talks of Ticks, we are Sacred Voices _ what am I saying? Sacred _ voices. Jesus criminy Christ. Lord, I'm crashing, but that's okay. Please, thank you so much. Look out for the flyer for our March film screening. Again, it is Audrey Lorde. If you do not know who Audrey Lorde is, come see the film. It's great. Ringing it out. We are also looking for facilitators. We are also looking for curriculum builders. We are looking for interns. We are looking for a lot of things. Please connect with us. We might have a job for you, or we might have a pathway for you. And other than that, that is all I have. My name is Bree. If you need programming help, let me know. Thank you so much for joining Sacred Voices live second Friday open mic. Join us for the first Friday, April 1st. That's probably a lie, but let's stick with April 1st for now. Thank you so much and good night.